o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started. It's time for our June 4th regular scheduled board meeting. Tonight, I've asked Eric Musgrove to open us with the invocation and the pledge.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we come to you today to thank you for all the many blessings you have so richly bestowed upon us. We thank you for this time that we have to conduct the business of the county and the community. Pray that you be with commissioners as they make those choices which will bring honor and glory to your name and to improve the conditions of the people here. Pray that you'll be with our first responders and those in the military. Pray that you will keep them safe, return them home to their families once their missions are accomplished. Be with those who have lost loved ones recently in Virginia Beach and those others who are suffering from violence all over the world. Be with those that are sick, those who are ill of our community, those who have lost loved ones recently. And thank you again for all of your blessings. Through your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item on the agenda is approval of May 21st, 2019 regular board meeting minutes. Do I have any changes or corrections?
Move to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Commissioner Richardson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fleming. Any discussion? Hear none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, we have consent agenda 2 through 7. Are there any wishing to be pulled for discussion? There are none. Do I have a motion to approve 2 through 7?
Make a motion.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stapleton. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. Moving right along. Mr. Harris, you got anything on staff reports for us?
On staff report,
We got you on here.
I'll blow through a few things real quick. We continue to make progress on the same project we were working on last time I gave reports. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Post haste.
We are about to go to bid on our production wells at the I-75 water plant. You've got several road projects underway. County Road 49 has begun on the south end, and that will be a multi-phase project, so it is not going to make it even to 252 right now. The other phases will come in the future. 129th is about to begin. That'll be an overlay or resurface and a little bit of widening. We're going to probably come in with a proposal for a change order on that because we had some extra money left over and we can extend the limits of that a little bit. So I'll come back to you on a future agenda for that. Padlock Road, 122nd Street is under construction. There's a small piece on the west end that is not involved in the limits of this project because we really were short on funding on this project anyway, but we're going to be paving the unpaved portion from the east to the west. 136A is currently under construction. They're replacing some cross drains right now, and that goes from 129 east to 75th. And again, that'll be another phase project. If we do any more, it'll have to come in future years, but that's where we are with road projects right now. And that's all I have.
I just got one question for you. On 217, I know we had that guy that sprayed the Roundup. I keep getting phone calls about when he's supposed to reseed. Any idea? I know we're not getting any rain, so it's not optimal time to do it, but
Today.
I thought I might ask tonight.
He did the reseed today, and he's going to start watering. And I spoke to him today. I spoke to him a couple of days ago as well, but he had spoken to me right before spring, and we talked about the weeds that were out there and him going ahead and spraying those weeds first. So he sprayed them a couple of times trying to kill off the weeds before he put the seed down, but the seed went down today.
Okay. That's all I needed. Any questions for Mr. Harris? Thanks, sir. Mr. Norris, you have something you want to say?
He always does.
I'm going to give you the floor for a few minutes.
Two. Who is he?
Put you on the spot.
Name and address?
So you can put somebody else on the spot.
On the name and address, Jimmy Norris, I'm a development director, 18152 136th Street, business address, 100 Court Street, Southeast, Live Oak, Florida. Glad to be up here this afternoon, glad everybody's doing well, surviving this heat wave. Just wanted to take a moment of your time. As you guys know, I'm a former chamber executive, and I don't know that we've officially seen this announced yet, but one of the former board members there that was on the board when I left the Chamber of Commerce is now the new executive director at the Chamber. I don't know that she's been officially introduced, and she is here with us tonight, Miss Hillary Cannon. And so I just wanted to be sure that you guys were familiar with her. She may want to come up and say hey or tell them about any events that are coming up shortly. But take a moment and stop by, visit with her, see her. I think she's going to do some great things over there at the Chamber and carry on the tradition of, you know, some of the things that we've set forth over the past several years. So we're pleased to have her. She's going to do the community a great job.
Thanks, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Just don't forget the south end.
Well, I got, you need, you want 5 or 7 minutes? You can come on. All right. Moving on to general business, I guess you gave us the update on I-75, so
Right.
anything else to add on that?
No, sir.
And we'll go right on to additional agenda items. Have 4 additional agenda items. Item number 1 is approval of IT equipment and maintenance purchase, budget impact utilizing technology upgrade funds. Mr. Harris?
Well, you've already presented it. All I need is a motion. The requested action is approval. Some of this is for switches. One of these items is for switches in the courthouse. We're trying to get this approved before we get the cabling all completed, which is starting right away. And then the other is a Dell server hardware maintenance agreement. This funding would come from your technology upgrade funds that are budgeted. We didn't have these as budgeted items. That's why they're coming back to the board in this particular fashion. We had the funding in there, we just didn't have the items in there. So I need board consideration on this. And then you've noticed with these additional items, some of the other things that we've put in here sound like IT, but we didn't have sufficient funding in that technology upgrades line for these other items. So I'm proposing something different for funding for them when we get to them.
Any questions for item number 1? Hearing none, I have a motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Richardson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fleming. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Item number 2 is approval to utilize contingency funds to pay for IT cabling project at the courthouse. And budget impacts $55,875.
Yes, sir. The board has already approved the contract with Hoff Enterprises. They were the low bid, and they're prepared to begin. We had not identified the source of funding at the time because we still knew that we had these other items that we needed to deal with, and once I had enough of them compiled, I realized we didn't have sufficient funding in that technology line to cover this. There is a little over $15,000 that will come to us through court administration to help offset some of this expense, but for the purposes of the payment and simplification, I'm proposing that we go ahead and pay for this out of the contingency, and then there'll be a transfer of reimbursement of a little over $15,000 back to us.
Any questions?
That said that there was not enough in the IT fund to.
We have about $36,000 in there now that hasn't been used. I had budgeted about a little over $86,000. Roughly 50 of that was spent on the fiber optic installation. We've got about 36 left. This is 55, and then you just passed a couple of items that we could fund out of that 36. So this is the easiest source for us to use right now.
Is it possible that the balance, if there is a balance in it, that would be also transferred back over to contingency for reimbursement after the year's up?
We would typically, like all other lines in the budget that have balances, those will be incorporated in the new budget with the
Next year.
worksheets. And we're preparing the worksheets right now to turn in fact, we'll be turning budget worksheets into finance early next week. So any balances left over will be reconciled by the time, actually prior to the time that we get into our budget workshops.
Any other questions?
I have one, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Just as a refresher, this is to do pretty much the whole courthouse.
Yes, sir. Originally, it did not include some of the offices of the judges, but it was the right time to do all of this at one time. Since they're going to be in there disrupting business and working through ceilings and everything else, it was the right time to go ahead and do this. So fortunately, in this case, they're coming up with some funding to pay their proportionate share of the cost.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Got a motion to approve by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Fleming, can I take that as a second? Mr. Fleming? I got, both of y'all made the motion. I take his motion. Can I take you as a second?
Yes, sir.
A second by Commissioner Fleming. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, item number 3 is authorization to enter into an agreement with Windstream for the provision of wide area network service, budget impact reduction, and current monthly expense.
That's about the extent of it. We need the wide area network. They're also providing backup in case we have problems, which is really important to us. The breakdown that Mr. Baker provided explains all of this, but the 4G wireless backup is going to be really important to us in case there's a problem with the hardwire portion of this. So I think we're going to have a small increase in the administration building until the beginning of the year, but then it will ultimately come out lower than what we're currently paying, as well as the others that are spending on this service. So this is a request to go ahead and approve this agreement.
Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Richardson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stapleton. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And item 4, award a bid and authorize execution of contract with McGinnis Services LLC for repaired courthouse bell support in the amount of $16,500 budgeted item.
You said it
Anything to
all?
add to that, Ms. Harris?
No, sir. This will just help keep that bell up in the air.
Any questions?
Yes, sir, I do. Is there any, considering that there's only one bidder on here? Or is there only one bidder just listed?
I think, no, there was one bidder, but I think it had everything to do with the degree of difficulty associated with this project.
I
Yeah,
get that.
there was another company that had considered it and just did not submit a bid.
Do we have to do anything differently on this one, like consider them sole source or anything like that?
No, it was a bidded item.
Not as long as it was bid. There, I
This is
mean,
the one that, didn't you say, Eric, only 2 people showed up to the mandatory pre-bid meeting?
Right.
And only one of those, out of one of those 2 sent a bid in?
there are plenty of occasions you've seen me recommend that we reject the bids and re-advertise, but those are on projects that are much less cumbersome than this and unique than this.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Fleming, second by Commissioner Richardson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. I only had those 4. You didn't have any other additional agenda items, did you? Okay.
No, sir. That's all.
All right, moving on to item 11, public comment and concerns? Anyone wishing to speak, that make their way to the podium, name and address for the record. And none. All right. Move on to item number 12, administrator comments. Cover that under item 8, Mr. Harris.
I'm just going to say I'm very, very thankful that the Mizell building didn't burn down yesterday when the power line got ripped out. If you were in the neighborhood when that occurred, you could see there was a lot of smoke coming from the asphalt road and from the mulch in the rose bed over there. I don't remember who made the comment that something about the definition of knockout roses has a new meaning today. But the power line came down on the rose bed over there on the corner of the building as well. And thankfully, honestly, I was going through the intersection when I looked back to the north and saw all the smoke. And I'll be real honest with you, I was afraid our building was on fire. But thankfully, no one was injured. It was an incredible inconvenience to a lot of businesses without the power being on. But thankfully, in the end, everything worked out well. That was the crane that was working with the roofing company that lifts the material up and sits it on the roof for them to replace the metal roofing, which they had started. Apparently, the man moved the truck or decided to drive off without letting the crane back down. And it made a very quick adjustment to some of the power lines that were hanging overhead. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the building is okay.
Thankful everybody's okay. Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
All right, moving on to board members' requests, comments. Mr. Richardson, you have anything?
I just want to say thank you to our county administrator for being part of the town hall meeting down in Branford about a week and a half ago. And a lot of things were said that he dealt with down in Three Rivers. And he's getting right on it. Everything's getting done. I appreciate the staff that backs him up. So, other than the fact that I just noticed, I mean, folks know that I'm a preacher, and as a minister, I know a lot about the Bible. Obviously, I better. And there's something in Revelation, there's something actually in the Gospels about God's right hand and His left hand. And I just noticed that everyone on the chairman's left hand, pray and open our meeting up with prayer. But everybody on the right hand over there, they don't. And I was just concerned because in the Bible, everyone on the right hand of God are the good ones, and everyone on the left hand are the bad ones. And I think we got flipped.
We are the good ones.
I'm not sure.
I hope y'all go.
I'm glad y'all followed me on that one. So.
I've noticed it for a while, just haven't said anything, because you do a much better job at it.
I have nothing else.
I just figured y'all needed more forgiveness, so I think we asked prayer.
Well, maybe the oldest on this side over here. Older, yeah.
Mr. Fleming, you can come sit with me. Come down here.
Mr. Fleming, you got anything for us?
Yes, sir. Just a little bit. And of course, I have a birthday coming up on Father's Day, and I hit that 62 mark. But anyway, a couple weeks ago, I went to a traffic safety meeting over in Columbia County. And it was a very productive meeting. I failed to mention about the progress that could be coming to our community. And I was in contact with Ms. Graham, Jennifer Graham, and we did stress about that I-10 and 129 corridor out there. And Chief Summers, I think, there was a couple accidents out there, back to back, 2 days back. And I would like to get a report on that. They have some concerns. They are really looking at it hard at District 1, 4, and District 2. That's Commissioner Hill and Commissioner Stapleton. I need your presence.
And I'll just, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, I'll add something to that. I didn't go to that meeting.
Right.
But I do stay in contact with several other people.
Okay.
And I would like to go because what I'm hearing from when you come from these meetings and what I'm hearing when I talk to these people are not matching. So let's get together and let's do that, and
Okay.
let's find out what's going on.
I got some emails from Ms. Graham,
Okay.
and which I'm gonna give it to Mr. Harris and to Chief Summers and the sheriff. Ken Weaver went with me over there. He was over there in former commissioner session, and they stressed some of the same things, and they did. They're taking it in consideration on that area out there. I was just telling them about the traffic, how it back up on that ramp. And when Suwannee, Spirit of Suwannee, how the events out there, football games on the weekend, how the traffic does. I think they hired a deputy, Busy Bee hired a deputy during that time, and we just need some help in that area. And I noticed the accidents that been happening out there. On my way to work at night, the traffic is sometimes it be backed up. And so I've been in contact with her, and the next meeting will be the next meeting to our, with our meeting. But if you don't have anything to do, and the energy commissioners, they did mention about Branford, some stuff about Branford. So I don't think they're leaving anybody out. They just want to hear us, get your input on what's going on in that area. That's all I have right about now. So as soon as I hear back from her, they're looking to get a map. And there's a lady out from the University of Florida. She's going to come to a meeting, and she's going to do a study on Suwannee County, the traffic in Suwannee County. They have a lot of counts of night driving, day driving. They have a lot of stuff that's available out there that very interesting into that we're not getting involved. And I think we need to get involved. I know we have our meetings, we have a lot of things that we be doing, but I think it'd be important if we can kind of reach out to them and let them reach back out to us. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Hale, you have anything?
No, other than I did go out to the Blueberry Festival this weekend. It was hot, but it was good to see everyone out there. It was a good turnout. So that's all I really got. And remember Father's Day coming up, as one of the other commissioners mentioned. And happy birthday, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Stapleton?
Yeah, real quick, happy birthday to Commissioner Fleming. We appreciate you, and
Thank you.
we look forward to having you for, what, 8 or 12 more years?
No, sir.
Also, I'd like to welcome Miss Hillary Cannon. I've known her for a long time personally, and she's a true asset, and she'll do great things at the Chamber. I appreciate her. Also, on the Blueberry Festival, I actually missed it this weekend and was sad that I couldn't be there, but I heard it turned out well, and thankful for all y'all that represented Suwannee County there. I appreciate that. I was actually out of town, went to Washington, D.C. to take my daughter to a summer camp, and we got her dropped off and actually done something that touched me. Me and my wife, we saw a few sights there, but I know a lot of people here has probably seen it, but if you've never been to Arlington, that place will touch your heart. There was numerous busloads of children there on field trips and class trips or whatever, and I mean, just the respect that they all showed was great. I mean, those kids was walking around that place and just, you could hear a pin drop. But I never realized until reading some literature there, it's 624 acres. And we owe a lot to all those people there. Give us the opportunity to do what we do every day in this country. And I appreciate them for that. Thank y'all. That's all I got.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I want to say, I've been knowing Hillary for a long time, and I want to say congratulations to you. Apologize for not saying it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, and we will get you up here eventually.
I'll say, we're going to get an
gonna get a
update.
report.
Absolutely.
If not before then, she'll be up here at budget time. Only thing I have is just keep the Boyette family in your prayers. Don Boyette passed away last week. Served on the city council for numerous years, and it just seems like, I guess, the older we get, you see people that served before us on the board and the city council, the ones that served while we were growing up, and they're starting to pass away, and they kind of blazed the trail before us. So keep their family and friends in your thoughts and prayers, and that's really all I had. Just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Need a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.